is up, guys? DT Ninja here to you guys my RuroKen Hokkaido arc, chapter 61, predictions. Yes, guys, finally the Hokkaido arc resumes this week, this Friday, in SQ magazine. I cannot wait. Besides that, there's also a Kenshin magazine that's going to be jam-packed with new information. The Jupon Gatana, things about them. There's going to be stuff about the special techniques and their origins and how the author created them. There's interviews with the author and his original editor about the original Kenshin manga. So there's going to be some very interesting stuff. I saw some storyboard sketches as well, and even illustrations from other mangaka thanking Kenshin, thanking the author for 30 years of Kenshin. So yeah, I cannot wait for that. I have pre-ordered that magazine on CDJAPAN. So if you guys want to check that magazine out, I'll leave the link in the description. Besides the Hokkaido arc resuming, the magazine, there's also going to be some new merch coming, and that is July 18th, the Ichiban Kuji lottery. Ichiban Kuji is kind of a lottery where a bunch of merch drops, and yeah, you can get this merch in Japan. They do tend to sell it online, sometimes eBay, Mercari. Definitely around late July they will start posting them on Mercari, so definitely check that out. I have my eyes on the Sojiro figure, which I'm going to show you here in a moment. But yeah, there's also Kenshin and Shishio and some other items as well. So yeah, pretty cool. But here are the figures of what I'm talking about. Alright, so as you can see, pretty cool figure of Sojiro. I can't wait for that one. Yeah, so a lot of cool stuff. Also, the new Soryusen Kenshin figure is on the way in July. The one with the wind and the leaves all in one figure. Pretty cool. Can't wait for that. So if we analyze that chapter, where Itakura is kind of this dominating guy. I mean, he's just dominating everyone. He's really strong. But one thing is Itakura is interested in Ashitaro. Ashitaro releases the Mugenjin. Everyone's looking at him. I think that's where we're going to go. So scenario number 1, Ashitaro versus Gongu. So Ashitaro will face Gongu, and Gongu is going to put a hurt on him. I mean, Gongu's this huge guy, so I mean, Ashitaro's gonna have to get in close to him. He's probably gonna get some good hits on Ashitaro. Obviously, Ashitaro's probably gonna get some good hits on Gongu, but he is wearing a stab-proof vest, so if he even stabs him with the sword, I guess the flames could engulf him, so that would be something very cool, but the stab-proof vest does prevent him from kind of giving him a lethal blow, so that's also very interesting. I do feel that this battle is going to be a deadly one. Maybe they're gonna show everyone on the battlefield again, and they're all looking at Ashitaro. Like, he's got the Mugenjin, the fire's out, and everybody's looking on at him. That would be a good way to focus on one character, but still include everyone. So that would be very interesting. Also, I feel that this is Ashitaro's moment. This is the moment where he's gonna step out of this comfort zone. He's gonna lose control. For this whole time, Kenshin has been trying to hold him back, not release Mugenjin, keep his emotions in check, but this is where he's gonna lose it. I feel Gongu is going to push him to the brink of his limits, and he's gonna break out and go berserk. But before that happens, I feel there will be some deaths, not just Gongu. I feel that maybe Cho is going to step in and shield Ashitaro, maybe even Kamatari. I mean, think about it. Kamatari and Cho have a connection to Shishio. And of course, seeing that Mugenjin is going to give them that connection to him. So that's also something to think about. Ashitaro going berserk is going to feed into Itakura wanting to see that fighting spirit, that demon spirit that's hidden within Ashitaro. Also, this feeds into the kind of spirit of Makoto Shishio, the demon within, and also there is some backstory, of course, how Ashitaro met Shishio, so there is that, becoming the 11th sword, show me how strong you can be, or you'll spend the rest of your life as the wretched brat you are. There's that, but also, I feel like the Itakura wanting to see him kind of reminds me of a parallel between Mishima, Eiji Mishima, where he showed his kind of imp or kind of goblin form when he had the gun and was about to shoot Sojiro Seita. And of course, I think Sojiro Seita might be the one to actually stop Ashitaro from going berserk. Maybe he attacks Sojiro and it shocks him. And of course we know they know each other because he was in the past when he first met Shishio. So we know they know each other. He just never says anything. And so maybe this will be the eye opener. Seeing him berserk, seeing him lose himself may remind him of his own trauma. And just he doesn't want him to go through what he went again after seeing him kill someone, and then now Sojiro's time to step up and stop him. Maybe he's going to be the mentor that Ashitaro needs. So that would be very interesting, a way to develop Ashitaro and Sojiro as well. That would be something new for Sojiro if we want to see him, develop further. Because right now, he's really cocky and arrogant, but if he sees Ashitaro just lose it, maybe he's gonna snap out of it. Because I know Nagakura was trying to get him to understand that if he keeps being a cocky kid, if he plays around with all these really strong swordsmen, he's gonna die in the next battle, or he's going to get himself killed. So seeing Ashitaro kind of lose it, killing, wanting to kill other people, even his own comrades, may snap him out of it, and maybe that's where we're going to see Sojiro kind of turn a new leaf. Maybe he's going to find his meaning, what he's supposed to do, and that is to help out Ashitaro. Maybe be his mentor. So yeah, that's something interesting that I really want to see. Is it going to happen next chapter? I don't know. But it could happen, and I really want to see more development of Sojiro as well as Ashitaro. But why Ashitaro versus Gongu? Well, I think it has to do with matchups. If we go back to chapter 30 in Otaro, we have Sanosuke versus Ono, one of the best chapters in all of Hokkaido. So you got this very interesting dynamic, a brawler versus a brawler in that fight. So another one is Kanryu versus Evil Kanryu. Honda versus Kanryu. Kanryu was the scumbag merchant. As we know, he killed the Oniwaban group, but here he's face to face with Kenkaku Heki, and it's almost like he's looking back at himself, an evil version of himself. So we get to understand who Kanryu really is. Another one, Nagakura Shinpachi. When he faced off against Hyobei and Sapporo, we have this moment where Hyobei is unstoppable. He has this ultimate destruction where it's literally a black hole and his double blades literally engulf everything. And then you have the opposite of that. You have Nagakura, who literally stops everything. So he has the ultimate defense. So again, you have these matchups that Watsuki likes to create. And another one I'm gonna predict is the Warrior Nun. The Warrior Nun versus the Fallen Monk. You have the faith of Buddha's lost, the Buddhist faith has been lost, but they have that connection. So Doi and Anji have that connection, so there's a very good possibility we could see Doi's development through Anji, kind of like we saw Sano through having Anji's development through the fight with Sano. That's my reasoning. Also, there's another reason. Goku no Taika. Goku no Taika is the sword that Gongu has. It's a huge sword, and he turned it into a gun. He literally turned his sword into a gun, and Cho called it a fake. He called it a fake imitation. And then you got Mugenjin, which is the deadliest, the last of deadly swords from Shaku Arai. Also, like I said, he's going to lose his mind. He's probably going to end up killing Gongu. But Gongu may kill some other people. Sadly, I think it might happen to Cho or Kamatari. And that's going to be the trigger. That's going to be the trigger that actually sets him off. And it also could be Shishio's voice. Like maybe he picks up the sword and he's starting hearing voices like he did in chapter 14.
In the end, only the fittest survive in this world. If you're strong, you live. If you're weak, you die.
So he's going to lose his mind. I think he's going to kill someone. Now in this chapter, he's going to kill someone? I don't know. But I do feel that maybe we will get some serious, intense action. This could be multiple chapters. But I do feel that is a very good possible scenario. Scenario number 2, Hajime Saito. Okay, listen to me here. Hajime Saito has not had a chapter in probably a year and a half or so, probably 2 years. We have not seen Hajime Saito. He is a great character in Hokkaido. He's obviously fought against Kenkaku Heki. He's injured. He was bedridden. He was in the hospital. That image of him in the hospital is very reminiscent of Hijikata's character. So this is why I love what they're possibly going to do with Saito. I think that they're going to show him visiting the prison that they put Hyobe in, because Matasuke Hyobe is still alive. He's been apprehended, and now Saito is going to interrogate him. Maybe he says something, you don't have a sword, or, you know, maybe he's going to try to ask him some questions. We're going to get something like that, but Saito's somehow going to kind of come to the realization he already knows that he needs a sword. But something's going to happen between those two. Maybe some new information is going to be given. But yeah, I want to see more of Saito. I feel like he's going to go on kind of an exploration of Hokkaido to try to find a sword. I don't know where he's going to find it, but that would be very interesting if it happens to be a swordsman that he runs across, like somewhere in the mountains or something. That just sounds like a really cool kind of exploration. So I think that, and then I think they're gonna go right back to Gordyokaku. So you're gonna get everybody at Gordyokaku. We're still gonna get Ashitaro versus Gongu. We're still gonna have the standoff again, you know, Itakura versus Kenshin and Sojiro. They're just kind of at a standstill watching everything go down with Ashitaro. So that's what I think scenario 2 could happen. You could have both of those scenarios happen. Scenario 3. Scenario 3 is where the Kenkaku Heki are involved. So you could start out somewhere in the mountains at a dojo. Maybe there's this hidden dojo in the mountains. I don't know. This is just my thinking. And you see people practicing in a dojo, their swordsmanship, and then suddenly you kind of go off into another room and you see a man with a sword and he slices through one of those bamboo kind of stalks, and it just shows his swordsmanship skills. And then afterwards he walks out past the mountains and starts walking towards someone he's meeting. And apparently someone in a hood is there, and it's a Kenkaku Heki member, and he says, I have a request from a commander, and he calls him Lord Fuyukai. It could be any commander, but I think Fuyukai would be awesome, because Fuyukai is the guy with the samurai mask, kind of the really cool looking mask. So anyway, we're kind of intrigued because this guy seems to be a master of a dojo, kind of giving us some hints. that he's meeting a Kinkaku Heki somewhere in another location. So then we go to the next part, which would be Saito. So Saito goes to the prison, and again, we do the same thing. He meets kind of the Kinkaku Heki Hyobei in the prison, and he would interrogate him. Then after that scene, we would cut to Goryokaku. And then, of course, you still get the fight with Gongu versus Ashitaro. However, at the very end, you could have Itakura thinking about kind of what the Kinkaku Heki are up to. Like, he's just thinking, seeing the battle, and he's thinking, like, what are the comrades up to? And suddenly it goes to the location where the swordsman is at the very end, and of course the end shows him revealing the mask of Fuyukai, and it's freaking Koshijiro. How awesome would that be if the cliffhanger is literally Koshijiro? Now, of course, it doesn't say Koshijiro, but it's just his face. That would be awesome. Not only would you get a little bit of everything, but you would get to see not only that Kaoru's father was within Kinkaku Heki, but he's one of the big guys. He's one of the commanders. Now, I do think he is probably one of the commanders, but I just thought it'd be really cool if he was like the samurai mask guy. So yeah, that's my scenario for that one. There is a fourth scenario, and that is if we mix everything. And honestly, each scenario keeps mixing more. So the first one obviously was just a straight up battle like Goryokaku. The second one was where that's where Saito and is at the prison, and of course he goes off on his own exploration, and then we get the Goryokaku battle, and then the third one kind of added that extra layer to it with the swordsman at the dojo and the Kinkaku Heki, as well as the battle at Goryokaku. So if we add another layer for a fourth scenario, I think maybe we could add Kyoto, something in Kyoto. Maybe Aoshi is finished with his mission. Maybe he learns of Kenshin and is heading towards Hokkaido. That would be really cool. Maybe Enishi is shown. Maybe Master Hiko. There's a lot of things they could really go off of. We could go to Tokyo with Yaiko and Yutaro in their tournament they're supposed to have. There's a lot of things you could really do. Megumi and Aizu. So yeah, that's kind of my take. I really feel that number 2 would be the best way to do it, because we want to see the battle, but we also want to see Saito. At least I do. So, because Saito has that, kind of mysterious kind of exploration. He needs to find the new sword. Also, there's the thing with Hijikata that is really relating to him. So there's that as well. Also, I just want to see a lot of action, but also the mystery aspect. The third one is also very interesting. So I would go with 2 or 3 in my opinion. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think will happen in the new chapter? I hope you guys enjoyed and look forward to the new chapter. I will be dropping spoilers as well as the full raws, and the English chapter will probably take a few 2 or 3 weeks. So anyway, there will be a review. So look forward to that, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.